Well, that is the Gog and Magog of the 70 nations.
Oh, but you didn't say the word.
Well, the whole, you know, you don't understand. The whole thing is about Gog and Magog.
Oh.
From the very beginning to the end, that's Gog and Magog. Yeah, the whole lot is Gog and Magog. What am I talking otherwise? Oh. That is where the maximum force, where we're going to suffer. No end. We should understand, even these streets, look how empty it is. You will feel in such fear, you won't be able to go out. A person, the only time we will go, if he's only learning Torah, and that will be the Beis HaMidrash. How are you going to go home to eat? Oh, that's another question. Another day is going to be very, very tough.
Is that going to be like that all over the world?
Yes.
Even in Israel?
Yes, Israel especially. The atom bomb in Israel, that's guaranteed it will go off. Without shred of a doubt. An atom bomb will do. But what we heard yesterday, we have no problems with the Arabs. The truth of the matter is, if you really must know. Because before the final end, the Ishmaelites will be wiped out from the face of the world. Hashem will do it. Because he says already, it's like by shaking a carpet up and down like this, and that's by shaking the whole world. And this is where all the Ishmaelites will go in cinders. Then the problem will be that the other nations of the world, because the whole how can I say, what they're supposed to do, the Arabs, is to create the war, because they're the ones who's going to bring the whole world to the war. Because the atrocities that they're going to, well, you see already what they're doing now. For example, right now, North Korea says she will send an atom bomb direct to Azov, mainly America. And she will. And she will fight America for 3 months. And this is how everything, all of a sudden, the rest of the European countries will get involved. Then Hashem will start with them. You'll see fire and lead and all other no good dropping from heaven against those people. Literally, you're going to see only black. Whoever disappears, disappears. Hashem knows what he's doing. You know what it means? An atom bomb goes, a whole street like they can disappear in 2 seconds. Houses flat on the ground. And black, you don't see nothing. Literally, very frightening it's going to be. All of these people, I'm telling you, who discipline themselves, who train themselves to accept all this and get themselves into reality, what it can be like, they're the only ones going to survive. Obviously, with faith, with no complaints, with a pleasant face and all the rest of it. It's something I don't like talking about, but if that is what's going to happen, we might as well face it. We cannot just go behind and say it's not going to happen. Only fools who hide behind this, and suddenly when it comes, then they're shocked and they can even die from that shock. Why do you think Chilonim, for example, there is something happen in their family, somebody dies, a relative, whatever, all of a sudden they go mad, tear their hair, oh no, they scream and really take it hard because they never prepared themselves. They're always rosy. So that's why when something like this happens, it kills them practically. But a person, an Orthodox person, when it happens, he said, oh, Baruch Hashem, that's the will of Hashem. It's a different tone. That is what it's all about. You need only training. And we might as well train it because that is where we're heading. And it's a pity, hardly anybody speaks in this country. Hardly. Even if you're talking about Lubavitch, even there they don't talk much about it. They're only talking about Moshiach, and that's all they want to know. What's going to happen in the Moshiach, that they don't know. Or they don't want to know. But I'm telling you, it'll be a big surprise. I feel sorry for, in Israel, what could happen. You know what is just Lebanon, 43,000 missiles, not Qassams. Each one a ton. 43,000. Forget the whole world, just for them to bring one after another. 43,000. What chance have Israel has it got? Hashem gave us this heritage soil, and they all walked in nicely and everything, and waited for 40 years till 1987. From 1987, yeah, from 1948 till 87. 1948 and 48 is 88, 87. Okay, for 40 years, and he sees they're not saying thank you. They don't understand where all these victories are coming from. And this is where he started pushing them. Namely, got the Intifada going. They're showing us how it was getting worse and worse and worse. And we see it. We need to understand, nobody is our friend. That is, we need to know. In other words, if it wasn't for Hashem, according to logic, we're not supposed to be surviving today. We should have been gone long time ago. But because Hashem says you will stay, that's what it matters. The question is, are we understanding all these messages? Are we coming towards Him or are we not? Obviously, people think that it's rosy, the way He's living, it's me as well. I'm afraid we live differently than the rest of the world. And our Jewish kind of Chilonim, they're not on that wavelength.
What's that, the secular Jews?
Yeah. You see, they're not really, they'll never change. But they will change when it's going to be too late, namely at the time when Gog and Magog. That's why Gog and Magog has to happen, to frighten those people to death. A lot of people will not survive it, I'll be honest with you. A lot of Jews, is only going to be, apparently 20%? How much today in the world? 13 million? Yeah, about 13 million.
Okay.
13.5, whatever. There'll be about 2.3 left. All will be wiped out. And even that, out of 2.3, there'll be, some of them will perish because they can't take it anymore. You need to be like what we call rock to stand up to all these things. And it can be possible. It's just by one thing, learning the Torah. Nothing will ever... And even I said to myself, what have you got how can you have even the audacity to actually criticize a person like that? Who are you, first of all? It's hard to believe. Well, I'm afraid that is the kind of what we call world we're living in, and it's a very, very pity because we are disunited completely, really disunited. You know what power we can have in this town if we were united? After all, we are all going the same shul. We are davening 3 times a day. We're doing all the same things, all because of one thing: pride. That's what's killing the community. Pride, pride, pride. Nobody wants to bring himself down to say different, or trying to say, well, he understands better than me, I should respect him more and I'll keep my mouth shut. Finish.
And what about the natural disasters that are going on now? Every week there's another major...
Very good. All these natural disasters, if you can call them natural disasters, they are all for one reason, is to warn Israel that meanwhile I'm putting my anger on the nation of the world. Tomorrow is going to be you. It's like a father, he wants to hit his child. Before he does that, he takes the cane and he hits it on the table. Remember, that could be on your back. Well, I'm afraid, if you pay notice, then that's it. So in other words, you have to understand one thing, is the Sitra Achra, when she finally gets the judgment that meaning she wants to get those people or whatever to die or perish, then obviously she gets her way. And Hashem has to oblige. So instead of giving it to what we call the Jewish people over souls, he takes over to the non-Jewish. He puts his anger on for example, at the time of where in America certain hurricanes took place, Orleans, hundreds of thousands of acres been wiped out and all the rest of it. Now the reason we say like this, Torah, tshuva,
What's tzedakah and tefillah?
Yes, tzedakah and tefillah. Sorry, tefillah and tzedakah. Ma'avirin Esroa Gzera. What do I mean, Ma'avirin? It doesn't get annulled. It moves over. Who? Not on the Jewish people. If the Jewish people do tshuva, that decree that is supposed to be called upon them is not annulled. Is moved over to who? To the Ahmadinejad and his friends. But if we understand that, well, obviously some people, they don't understand that, so obviously they get it on their backs and they die. It doesn't say mitbatel, meaning annulled. It says ma'avirin. Ma'avir, what is ma'avir? Is to pass over. To who? To those who are guilty. Why? Now you're different. The Jewish person now is supposed to be tshuva, so he doesn't deserve anymore. So it has to be passed. In other words, in all cases, the sitra achra must be satisfied whatever the decree is. She never waves away nothing. So, but we need to keep her wish. How? By passing it to the nations of the world. That's why there is all this, like you said, natural disasters and all the rest of it.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, I have recorded that bit, what you've said.
But what?
Well, the whole lot after your main speech.
Very crafty.
What?
Well, about what we just said, that's this minute.
Yeah, the whole thing.
In other words, it's a very big pity that the respect is being thrown out of the window. If you know somebody is more greater than you, you keep your mouth shut. Even if you think it's different, whatever is not right. Who are you to come and criticize? When you get on that level, then we see what you're going to say. At the moment, you are not. So stay down. That's it.